This is not self-help. This is healing. Body, nervous system, wholeness. Energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, herbal wisdom. Learn, heal, and be together. Wholeness isn't fixing, it's integrating. Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. Understanding begins here. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is week 3 at Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio and our healing circle. Let your shoulders soften, feet grounded on the floor. Slow inhale, longer exhale. Notice one sound around you. Notice the weight of your body in the chair. You do not need to analyze anything today. You do not need to confront anything dramatically. We are simply observing, my friends. This week, we are exploring emotional imprints, the patterns that formed us long before we had language for them. And today we begin here. Every home has an emotional weather system, and you grew up inside it. Think of your childhood home not as a collection of events, but as a climate. Not one argument, not one holiday, not one memory. A tone. Was it loud, silent, critical, high achieving, chaotic, avoidant, tender but anxious, emotionally distant, or unpredictable? Every household has an emotional baseline. Children do not analyze climate, they adapt to it. You learned how to survive inside that weather, not consciously, but emotionally. You learned what was safe to feel, what needed to be hidden, how to read tension, how to stay connected, how to belong. These adaptations were intelligent. They helped you stay attached. Now let's get right into our learning points. Learning point number 1. Emotional climate is different from events. You may not remember specific stories, but you remember how it felt. Was there tension in the air? Did laughter feel rare or frequent? Was vulnerability comfortable or awkward? Climate, my friend, shapes expectation, and expectation shapes personality. Learning point number 2. Children choose connection over authenticity. If anger wasn't welcome, you softened it. If sadness overwhelmed others, you minimized it. If achievement brought praise, you performed. If silence kept peace, you stayed silent and quiet. You did what preserved connection. This is not a weakness, my friends. That is survival intelligence. Learning point number 3. Safe versus unsafe emotions. In every home, certain emotions are permitted. Ask yourself gently, was joy encouraged? Was anger punished? Was fear mocked? Was sadness dismissed? Was vulnerability welcomed? You may still live by these emotional rules, even now. Learning point number 4. Emotional roles form in climate. Who carried the emotional weight in your home? Was there a dominant personality? Was there emotional unpredictability? Was someone overwhelmed? Children often step into these roles. The peacemaker, the responsible one, the achiever, the emotional caretaker, the invisible one, and the strong one. Not because they choose it, because the system required balance, and balance often came at a cost. Learning point number 5, understanding is not blaming. This work is not about accusing your family. Most emotional climates are inherited. Your parents were shaped by theirs. We are not assigning fault. We are creating awareness because what is unseen continues. What is seen can soften. Let's talk about some real life adult patterns. If your home was critical, you may struggle with self-judgment. If it was silent, you may struggle to express need. If it was chaotic, you may crave control. If it was anxious, you might overfunction. If vulnerability was minimized, you may struggle to ask for support. These are all adaptations, and adaptations can evolve. Now let's talk about the power of 3 and look at it from that lens. In energy medicine, emotional climate leaves energetic imprints. If tension was common, your body still may brace in calm rooms. Awareness begins coherence. In Ayurveda-inspired living, environment influences tendencies. Chaotic environments aggravate restlessness. Critical environments inflame perfectionism. Emotionally heavy environments can lead to withdrawal. Understanding climate brings compassion to your constitution. And in herbal wisdom, gentle support while doing reflective work is the key. Chamomile can be used for softening, Tulsi for resilience, lemon balm for emotional steadiness. We support the body while exploring memory. Let's think about this. Without analyzing, ask yourself, what was the emotional tone of my childhood home? What emotion felt safest to express? What emotion felt dangerous? What role did I fall into? And do I still live inside that role? Let your body answer before your mind. Now, as always, our 5 reflective journaling questions. And if you have not started journaling yet, please do. Start with 1 day a week, 5 or 10 minutes. Journal reflection question number 1. The emotional weather of my home felt like blank, and fill in the blank. Number 2. The emotion I hid most was blank. Number 3. The emotion I showed most was blank. Number 4. I learned that vulnerability meant blank. And number 5, today I notice this pattern still shows up when blank. Here's a gentle truth for you. You were not dramatic. You were adaptive. You were not too sensitive. You were perceptive. You were learning how to survive in an atmosphere. You are not the emotional climate you were raised in. You are allowed to build a new internal atmosphere, slowly, gently, and consciously. Awareness is the first shift. Now, my friends, what I would like you to do is just to take 1 deep breath in and slowly release with a breath out. If you want more support, deeper information, we have masterclasses, support, meditations, healing sessions in Evolve Global 22's Healing Circle on Patreon. It's only $7.99 a month. Go and check it out and join our healing community. The link is in the description and the first comment. With that, I close, my friends. Peace, love, and light always. I love you all. Take care. I will see you in the circle. This is not self-help. This is healing. Body, nervous system, wholeness. Energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, herbal wisdom. Learn, heal, and be together. Wholeness isn't fixing, it's integrating. Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. Understanding begins here. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. I'm Dr. Debbie, and I'm so glad you are here tonight. Feet on the floor, let your shoulders drop. Slow inhale in, longer exhale out. Notice your jaw. If it's clenched, soften it just a little. Notice your belly. Let it be embraced. You don't have to get it right today. You don't have to be calm to be here. You don't have to fix anything before you belong. Today, we're talking about triggers, and we're going to talk about them in a way that is compassionate and real. Because many of us hear the word triggered and immediately go into shame. I shouldn't be like this. I'm too sensitive. What's wrong with me? Why can't I just let it go? So let's just start with the truth. Triggers are not a weakness. Triggers are stored emotional memory. This is Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio Healing Circle. It is Wednesday, March 4th, and let's get into this. A trigger is when something in the present touches something unresolved in the past. A trigger is not just being upset. A trigger is when the intensity doesn't match the moment. You're not only responding to what is happening now, you're also responding to what happened before. Think about that for a moment. Sometimes you don't even know what the before is, but the body knows. The body recognizes tone, a look, a feeling, a familiar emotional atmosphere, and it responds faster than your thoughts can catch up. That is why triggers can feel confusing. You can be looking at a small moment and feeling a massive wave. And the wave doesn't mean you are broken, it means something is being touched. A trigger is a reminder, not a present danger. Your nervous system is essentially saying, this feels like that, not this is that. We need to recognize the difference. The present moment might be uncomfortable, but the body is reaching as if it's unsafe. Triggers compress time. They collapse past and present into one feeling. So the first shift is this. This is a reminder, not a threat. Learning point number 2, the body remembers faster than the mind. Your mind tries to reason, but your body reacts first. You may notice a tight chest, heat rising, jaw clenching, a stomach drop, pressure behind the eyes, shallow breathing, urge to defend, urge to shut down, or racing thoughts. That reaction is not failing, my friends. That reaction is your body saying, I recognize this emotional shape. So we do not argue with the body, we listen to it. Learning point number 3, intensity often belongs to the past. This is one of the most freeing truths. Sometimes the bigness of your response isn't the moment. It's about what the moment represents. The present moment is a match. The past is the fuel. So instead of what is wrong with me, we ask, what is this reminding me of? That question reduces shame because shame says I'm defective, but understanding says I'm remembering. Learning point number 4, naming reduces escalation. When you can name it, you can hold it. Naming creates space, even quietly inside yourself. I'm feeling dismissed. I'm feeling criticized. I'm feeling unseen. I'm feeling controlled. I'm feeling unsafe. This isn't about overanalyzing. It's about giving your nervous system a signal. We are aware. We are here. We are not lost. Name, space, and choice. Learning point number 5. You are allowed to move slower when triggered. This is a big permission. When triggered, you do not owe speed. You do not have to respond immediately. You do not have to defend your case. You do not have to solve the conflict in one moment. Sometimes emotional maturity is simply saying, give me a minute. I need to slow down. I want to respond, but not from this place. You are allowed to move slower. Slower is not avoidance. Slower, my friends, is wisdom. Let's talk about this through a power of 3 lens. Triggers spike emotional change in the field. It can feel like your energy expands too fast or gets jagged. A simple supportive practice. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your lower belly. Breathe slowly, then the feeling. Let your energy come back home. You are not forcing calm, you are restoring contact with yourself. From an Ayurvedic perspective, triggers often aggravate body constitutions like Vata. First, the anxiety spike. Vata looks like racing thoughts, restlessness, feeling ungrounded, or the feeling I need to fix this now energy. Grounding rituals restore steadiness, warm drink, warm meal, feet on the floor, slower evening routine, early bedtime when possible. The body stabilizes and the mind flows. Now, I gave you one example of Vata. In our Patreon, we go into the different types of body types when we're doing body type work. Let's look at it from an herbal wisdom perspective. Support the body so that the trigger doesn't have to become a spiral. Gentle supports include, and I use similar ones all the time. Lemon balm is calming and brightening. Skull cap settles the wired feeling. And magnesium at night supports nervous system recovery and sleep. They do not erase emotional memory. They help your body feel safe enough to process it. Let's pause for a moment, not to overthink, just to notice. Ask yourself this: what emotion do I react strongest to? Is it disrespect, criticism, rejection, being controlled, or being ignored? Number 2, ask yourself this: when have I felt this before in my life? Not the details, the feeling. Number 3, what would it mean to separate past from present? What would it feel like to say, this is an old memory visiting, not current danger? And then breathe and let your body answer. Our 5 reflection journal questions tonight are these. Number 1, my strongest trigger emotion is blank. Number 2, the earliest time I remember feeling this emotion is blank. Number 3, when I'm triggered, I usually fight, fix, freeze, flee, collapse, or over-explain. Pick the one that matches you. Number 4, what I needed then but didn't get was blank. And then number 5, one supportive phrase I can practice when triggered is blank. And examples, I can slow down. This is a reminder. I'm safe enough in this moment. Being triggered does not mean you are immature. It means something inside you still wants protection. Your triggers are not proof you're failing. They are signals that you are human. You are allowed to learn your signals without shame. Today's goal, my friends, is not to eliminate triggers. It is to change your relationship with them, from shame to awareness, from urgency to slowing down, and from past to present. You are not behind. You are learning how to live in the present moment without being hijacked by old emotional weather. Take a slow inhale and a longer exhale. If this topic touches something tender in you, Patreon is where we go deeper with more support. We take these themes slowly with guided practices, reflection prompts, and a weekly masterclass that helps you integrate into real life. If you want steady support without pressure or fixing, the link is in the description and in the first comment. Remember, my friends, healing lives here, wholeness lives within you, and I will see you in the circle. This is not self-help. This is healing. Body, nervous system, wholeness. Energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, herbal wisdom. Learn, heal, and be together. Wholeness isn't fixing, it's integrating. Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. Understanding begins here. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio and our Healing Circle. It is Thursday, March 5th. Let's get right into this. But before we start, let's do our clearing so that we can be present. One breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and use the hand to push everything away. All the emails, the stuff from today, the things that are building up and piling up upon us, and divert our attentions from what's most important. In through the nose, think of those things, words that upset you, push them away. And one more time, in through the nose, and push them away. One more time. And now let's do our heart connection so we can be present together in this moment. Think of a beautiful lotus flower. Drop into your heart space. This is the place of unconditional love, compassion, joy, all of the highest frequencies, the seat of our Creator. Say out loud to yourself, I connect with my heart. Nothing can hurt you in this space. Welcome again. Let's get right into this. This week, we have been exploring emotional imprints, the emotional climate we grew up in, emotional triggers and stored memory, and the emotions we were not allowed to have. Tonight, we take the next step, my friends. We explore the emotional personality that formed from all of those experiences, because most of us believe our personality is simply who we are. But sometimes it is also who we had to become. Children are incredibly adaptive. They watch the emotional environment around them and slowly learn how to survive inside it. If the home is chaotic, they become stabilizers. If the home is critical, they become perfectionists. If the home is emotionally distant, they become independent. If the home is unpredictable, they become hyper-aware. These adaptations happen gradually. At first, they are strategies. Over time, they become identity. You begin to believe this is just who I am. But sometimes the truth is, this is who I learned to be. And the goal of this work is not to erase your personality. It is to understand which parts came from survival, because what once protected you may now be exhausting you. So let's get into this. Learning point number 1. Emotional roles often form in childhood. Many people unconsciously take on emotional roles in their family system. These roles help stabilize the emotional environment. Common roles include the responsible one, the strong one, the peacemaker, the achiever, the helper, the caretaker, and the invisible one. These roles are rarely chosen. They are absorbed. A child senses what the environment needs and becomes it. Learning point number 2, adaptation is emotional intelligence. Your emotional personality did not develop randomly. It developed through observation. You learned what created calm, what avoided conflict, what gained approval, what prevented rejection. Children are incredibly skilled at emotional pattern recognition. Your personality reflects that intelligence, not weakness, but wisdom, my friends. Learning point number 3, what protected you may now limit you. The emotional personality that once helped you survive may now feel heavy. For example, the responsible one may struggle to relax. The strong one may struggle to ask for help. The peacemaker may avoid necessary conflict. The achiever may feel constant pressure. The helper may feel drained. The invisible one may struggle to be seen. The very qualities that protected you may now restrict your freedom. Learning point number 4, awareness creates space. We've said that a lot this week so far. When you begin to recognize the emotional roles you built, something shifts. Instead of reacting automatically, you begin to notice, I'm stepping into that role again. And that awareness creates choice. You can still be responsible, but you don't have to carry everything. You can still care for others, but you don't have to disappear yourself. Awareness loosens the role. Learning point number 5, you are allowed to expand beyond that role. Healing does not require helping the parts of yourself that helped you. Long days here. Healing does not require rejecting the parts of yourself that helped you. Those things helped you survive. Those parts deserve appreciation, but they don't have to run your life. You are allowed to expand. The responsible one can also rest. The strong one can also receive support. The peacemaker can also speak truth. The achiever can also slow down. The helper can also care for themselves. This is not losing who you are, my friends. It is becoming more whole. Let's look at this from a power of 3 lens. Energy medicine, from that lens, rigid emotional roles can create contraction in the energy field. You may feel tension, pressure, or emotional fatigue. When you allow yourself to step outside the role, even briefly, your energy expands. That expansion restores balance. From an Ayurvedic perspective, certain emotional roles often mirror dosha patterns, meaning the dosha patterns are the 3 body types. Hyperresponsibility and anxiety may reflect vata imbalance. Perfectionism and pressure may reflect pitta imbalance. Withdrawal or emotional heaviness may reflect kapha imbalance. Now remember, vata, pitta, and kapha are the 3 main major body types, and most of us are dominant in one of those. We have all of them, but we're dominant in one of those. It's important to know your body type so that you know thyself and can correctly and appropriately support yourself. And remember, balance comes through flexibility and self-compassion. From an herbal wisdom lens, herbs that support emotional flexibility include Tulsi. I've mentioned that so many times, for resilience and adaptability. Rose for heart softening, and chamomile for relaxation and emotional release. Herbal support can gently help the body relax the grip of long-held roles. I want you to pause for a moment and think about this. Ask yourself gently, what emotional role did I play growing up? Was I the responsible one, the strong one, the peacemaker, the achiever, the helper, or the invisible one? And notice, where does that role show up in my life today? Just notice, no judgment. As always, our 5 reflection and journal questions. If you have not started journaling, please, my friends, do yourself a big favor. Journal for at least 5-10 minutes once a week to start. Journal reflection question number 1. The emotional role I most identified when growing up was blank. Number 2, the role helped me by blank. Number 3, the cost of carrying that role now is blank. Number 4, one place I notice this role showing up in my adult life is blank. And number 5, one small way I could loosen this role this week is blank, and fill in the blanks. A gentle truth is you are not wrong for becoming who you needed to be. Your emotional personality was intelligent. It helped you navigate your environment. Now you simply have the opportunity to choose when that role serves you and when it does not. Your emotional personality is not something to erase. It is something to understand. Because when you understand the role you built, you gain freedom. Freedom to rest, freedom to ask for help, freedom to show more parts of yourself. You, my friend, are allowed to become more than the role that protected you. Remember this quote and think about this. The role you played to survive your environment does not have to define the person you became or become. If this work resonates with you, my friends, and you want to continue to explore these patterns more deeply, you are warmly invited to join Evolve Global 22 Healing Light Studio and Healing Circle on Patreon. Inside Patreon, we go deeper with early access to, inside Patreon, we go deeper. Weekly masterclasses to expand on the themes that we talk about, morning anchors for daily grounding, reflection prompts and guided practices, monthly healing sessions and meditations, and much, much more. This is a gentle, supportive space for women navigating real life, relationships, stress, healing, and personal growth. If you are looking for steady support without pressure or fixing, you're welcome to join us. The Healing Circle on Patreon link is in the description and the first comment. Now, remember always, my friend, healing lives here. Wholeness lives within you. Peace, love, and light always. I love all of you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for spending time with me. And I will see you in the circle. This is not self-help. This is healing. Body, nervous system, wholeness. Energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, herbal wisdom. Learn, heal, and be together. Wholeness isn't fixing, it's integrating. Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. Understanding begins here. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio, our healing circle. It is Friday, March 6th, and it is the end of week 3 in month 2. Now, let's get right into tonight. Take a moment to arrive, feet on the floor, slow inhale, longer exhale. Let your shoulders soften, let your jaw unclench. You do not have to solve anything tonight. You are simply noticing. This week, we've been exploring emotional imprints, the emotional atmosphere we grew up in, the triggers that carry old memory, the emotions we were not allowed to have, the emotional roles we learned to play. Tonight, my friends, we ask a different question. Where did these patterns come from? That's the question we generally ask. But we also need to ask, and tonight we're going to ask, who am I becoming now? Our early emotional environment shapes us, but it does not permanently define us. Awareness changes the relationship we have with our patterns. You may still feel triggered. You may still notice old roles appearing, but something begins to shift. Instead of automatically reacting, you start observing. You begin noticing. That response feels familiar. That reaction feels older than this moment. That role doesn't actually belong here. This is emotional growth, not the disappearance of emotion, but the expansion of awareness. So remember, we're asking now, who am I becoming now? And with that, let's get into learning point number 1. Awareness changes the pattern. Patterns often run automatically until they are seen. Once you recognize an emotional imprint, you begin to create space. You may still feel the old response, but now there is a pause. And that pause, or in that pause, something new becomes possible. Learning point number 2, healing is not becoming emotionless. Sometimes people think emotional maturity means becoming calm all the time, but that is not the goal, and that's not realistic. The goal is relationship with emotion. You are allowed to feel anger. You are allowed to feel sadness. You are allowed to feel fear. You are allowed to feel joy. The difference is that emotion no longer runs your life without awareness. Learning point number 3, recovery time is a sign of growth. Growth is often measured in recovery time. Maybe in the past, the trigger stayed with you a few days. Now it passes in hours. Maybe in the past, conflict felt overwhelming. Now you can stay present longer. These are quiet signs of emotional expansion. Learning point number 4, self-compassion supports change. Shame keeps patterns locked in place. Compassion loosens them. When you notice an old reaction, instead of saying, "What is wrong with me?" you can say, "That makes sense." This is not excusing harmful behavior. It is recognizing the pattern without attacking yourself. Learning point number 5, you are allowed to become someone new. The emotional personality you built was intelligent. It helped you survive. But survival does not have to be your permanent identity. You are allowed to evolve, to become someone who feels without collapsing, sets boundaries without guilt, expresses emotion without shame, receives support without fear. This, my friends, is emotional integration, and you are allowed to evolve. Let's talk about this through the lens of the power of 3. In energy medicine, as awareness increases, the emotional field becomes more coherent. Instead of sharp emotional spikes, there is greater stability. Energy flows rather than contracts. In Ayurveda inspired living, balance is not the absence of emotion. Balance is flexibility. A regulated system moves through emotions and returns to steadiness. Daily rhythm, nourishment, and rest support this emotional resilience. In herbal wisdom, herbs that support emotional balance include Tulsi for emotional resilience, rose for heart openness, and lemon balm for calm clarity. These support the body while the mind learns new patterns. Let's take a moment. Ask yourself gently, what emotional pattern have I begun noticing this week? Where do I see growth in myself? What role feels lighter than it used to? And what part of myself is beginning to emerge? Breathe and let the answers come slowly. And tonight, our reflection journal questions. Number 1, one emotional pattern I noticed this week is blank, and you fill in the blank. Number 2, I now understand that pattern may have come from blank. Number 3, one place I see growth in myself emotionally is blank. Number 4, a role I am learning to loosen is blank. And last, number 5, the kind of emotional person I am becoming is blank. Here is a gentle truth for you. You are not behind in your healing. You are becoming aware. And awareness is the beginning of every meaningful change. This week was not about fixing your emotions. It was about understanding them, understanding where they came from, understanding how they shaped you, and recognizing the awareness that awareness creates freedom. You are not the emotional climate you grew up in. You are not the role that you once played. You are someone who is learning slowly, steadily, becoming. Slow inhale, guys, and a longer exhale. Now remember, if you want deeper teachings, personalized support, morning anchors, meditation sessions, and healing sessions, Evolve Global 22's Healing Circle is available to you on Patreon for only $7.99 a month. That is only $7.99 a month. The link is in the description and in the first comment. Remember all, healing lives here, but wholeness lives within you.